Hello, today we are going to learn about sets in Python. A set is another type of data structure in Python. Unlike lists or tuples, sets are unordered collections of unique items. This means that duplicates are automatically removed when you create a set. If you try to add the same value multiple times, Python will only keep one copy of it. To define a set, we use curly braces. You can think of it like a mathematical set which contains a collection of unique elements. Let's take an example. If we create a set with the names John, Tom, John, Josh, and Peter, we can see that John appears twice. But in a set, Python automatically removes the duplicate, leaving us with John, Tom, Josh, and Peter. If we already have a list with duplicates and want to remove them, we can convert the list into a set. Python makes this easy by using the set function. Just by applying this function to the list, all duplicates will be removed. Now let's talk about some important set operations. Since sets work like mathematical sets, we can use them to perform common operations such as union, intersection, and difference. Intersection finds the common elements between two sets. Union combines all elements from both sets while still keeping them unique. Difference finds elements that exist in one set but not in the other. For example, let's say we have two sets. The first set contains 1 to 5, and the second set contains 5 to 9. If we take the intersection, we only get the number 5, because that is the only value that appears in both sets. If we take the union, we get all numbers from 1 to 9, but with no duplicates. If we take the difference, we get all numbers from the first set that are not in the second set, which in this case is 1 to 4. Now let's move on to modifying sets. Unlike tuples, sets can be modified. We can add new elements to a set using the add method. This allows us to insert a single new value into the set. If we need to add multiple elements at once, we use the update method. This lets us add a group of items at the same time. On the other hand, if we need to remove an element, we can use the remove method. This will delete a specific value from the set. However, if we try to remove an item that doesn't exist, Python will give an error. Let's practice using these methods. We start with a set containing the numbers 1 to 5. First, we use the add method to add the number 6. Then we use the update method to add the numbers 7 and 8 all at once. Finally, we use the remove method to delete the number 5 from the set. After each step, we print the set to see how it changes. One important thing to remember is that sets do not support indexing. This means that we cannot access elements by their position like we do with lists or tuples. Since sets are unordered, the order of elements is not guaranteed. If we try to access a set element using an index, Python will give an error. Now let's test a few things. What happens if we try to add two sets together using the plus operator? Unlike lists, this will give an error because sets do not allow direct addition. Instead, we should use the union method to combine two sets. What happens if we try to multiply a set using the multiplication operator? Again, this will result in an error because sets do not support repetition. However, lists and tuples do. Let's summarize what we learned today. Sets are unordered collections of unique items. They are useful when you need to store data without duplicates. We can perform set operations like intersection, union, and difference. We can add and remove elements using add, update, and remove methods. Sets do not support indexing and cannot be directly added or multiplied like lists. That's all for today's lesson on sets. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next lesson.